See you again, friends. How are you guys? I hope you are always in good health. In this video we will discuss maritime law basics. As lawyers who specialize in maritime law, we encounter many people who were unaware that the rules that govern the seas vary so greatly from the law of the land. While on land, it is easy to determine the governing body or the laws under which you are subject. For incidents occurring in international waters, determining the governing body may seem more complicated. Pop culture may lead a person to believe that international waters are lawless, but that is certainly not the case. We want to give those unfamiliar with our work a quick primer on how they decide jurisdiction, and a few maritime law basics to keep you informed. Maritime law or admiralty law. The terms admiralty law and maritime law are interchangeable and cover a combination of U.S. and international law that cover all contracts, injuries, offenses, or torts that occur on navigable waters. Admiralty law traditionally was for focusing on oceanic issues. It now covers any public body of water, including rivers and lakes. The laws cover interactions between ships, as well as a myriad of other legal issues. How to determine jurisdiction in international waters. When reaching international waters, which is 24 miles from any coastline, the law of the ship is the law of the country whose flag it is flying. For instance, if a British registered cruise ship were smuggling goods 26 miles away from a New York coast, they would be subject to British law. A ship only 20 miles away would be considered within a contiguous zone in the United States. Certain limited rights would be granted to the U.S. Coast Guard in this case. The Coast Guard would be allowed to board the ship in this instance on suspicion of smuggling. Who handles U.S. maritime cases? In theory, any general jurisdiction court may hear cases involving maritime law. Courts with limited jurisdiction, like small claims court, may not hear maritime law cases. While there are specific examples of cases on the state level, as a rule, maritime law is federal jurisdiction. What is maritime law and why is it important? Maritime law is the body of rules that govern everything that goes on in the sea and open waters. These rules help clear up various disputes that can occur and ensure that the people and organizations that work on the water behave correctly and are protected. Who controls maritime law? International maritime law is governed by the International Maritime Organization (IMO), a specialized agency of the United Nations. It is the IMO's job to establish the framework and regulations for the safety, security, and environmental performance of shipping on an international, universal level. Maritime law generally applies to private shipping issues, whereas the law of the sea is largely recognized as referring to public international law. In other words, the latter governs how nations should behave in maritime environments. The world's open seas make up about 70% of the Earth's surface and are important, both as a means of transport and as a resource. Maritime law exists to protect this asset and the people who use it. Without it, there would likely be anarchy and collapse of the global economy. Maritime law governs private maritime questions, disputes, or offenses and other nautical matters. In most developed countries, the maritime law follows a separate code and is an independent jurisdiction from national laws. Thank you for watching until it's finished. Finally, I said goodbye. See you in the next video.